Okay, so now we will start with our first creative animation. Let's create one new composition. We will call it as main animation over here, and then width is 1920, height 180, frame rate is 30, and duration we are going to choose 20-second long, and background color is white color, and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title selection. Then I'm going to create one ellipse, and I'll delete this fill for now, we don't need that. And I'm going to choose stroke, and stroke width I'm going to choose black color, and stroke width is, let's say, 10 pixels. And by holding shift I'm going to create one ellipse. Now select the shape layer, press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Go to the Add menu, choose Trim Path, go to the Trim Path and let's make this 0 initially. Create one keyframe at the end, zoom in a little bit and let's go to around 1.15 frames and let's make this 100. Now select those keyframes and hit F9. So if you see this now, you will get this kind of animation. Now over here, let's make this offset value 90, so we will get this animation from here. Okay, now go in middle of that. Now select your pen tool and from here let's create one point, and then by holding shift I'm going to create another point over here. Okay, like this. Now select this and try to move this over here. Now select this, press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Now I'm going to select the shape layer. I'll go to the add menu and I'm going to choose trim path. Go to the trim path and let's make this end value. Let's make the start value 100. Create one keyframe at start and one keyframe at end, and then go few frame forward somewhere around over here and let's make this start value 0. And then I'm going to select the shape layer, and this shape layer should start to animate from this layer. Now select those keyframes and hit F9. So if you see this now, you will get this kind of animation. So let's select this keyframe and by holding Control I'm going to click on it, so it will remove the ease in ease out. Similarly, I'm going to select this shape layer. I'll select this first layer and by holding Control I'm going to remove this ease in ease out. So if you see, we will get this kind of continuous pattern. And then at this point I'll select this end proper value of this layer with this stroke layer, and then it should end at this point, and let's make this 0. So if you see this now, we will get this animation and then we will get this. Okay, so this is how we will get something like this. Yeah, now I'm going to select both the layers. I'll press Ctrl Shift C and I'm going to call it as jar, and then select this layer and let's select our rectangle tool, and I'm going to create one mask at this point like this, and let's make this inverted. So if you see this now, we will get something like this. Okay, now after that we will create another ellipse and we will choose red color for it because this is going to be for mask, and we will delete this. And by holding shift I'm going to create one ellipse like this. Select this, press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Press S and increase the scale somewhere around like this. Okay, then I'm going to select my rectangle tool and I'm going to create this kind of rectangle. Select this, press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Enable this layer and let's go to the color and we will choose black color. Select the shape layer, go to the effect and presets and we will call it as wave warp effect and double click to apply, and increase the wave width somewhere around like this, and if you hit play you will get this kind of animation, and increase the height like this. Okay, also go to the effect and presets panel and search for turbulence displace effect and alt click on this evolution tab and we will call it as time star and let's call it as 60. Okay, so we have applied this expression, so we will get this kind of animation. Now select this and select this layer, hit enter and let's call it as wave, so it would be easy for us to understand. And we will select this layer which is our mask, hit enter and let's call it as mask only. Select this wave and simply move this downwards and choose alpha mask. So this animation should start somewhere around from 3 seconds. So I'll select those layers and I'll move them over here Select this wave, press P, create one keyframe, go somewhere around, let's say 8 seconds, and we will move this from here to here. Go to the start, and let's bring this downward. So if you see, we will get this kind of animation. Select both the layers and hit Ctrl D, and let's move this over here. Select this wave, and we are going to make the color of this one to little bit grayish color, like this. So we will get this kind of liquidy effect. So if you see now, we will get something like this. And let's do one thing. We will select this jazz, we will hit M, and we will delete this mask. We don't need that. It looks quite weird also. So first we will get this animation, and I think at this point it would be better if this animation starts from here. Okay, now over here what I want something like falling animation, like liquidy stuff. So I'll create one from here and one from here. I'll create this kind of stroke. Let's delete this fill, we don't need that. We will need stroke, and I'm going to choose grayish color for the stroke. Let's select the shape layer and let's move this over here, and let's go to the add menu, and we are going to choose trim path. Go to the trim path and let's make this start value 100. Create one keyframe. Let's bring this a little bit downward over here. Okay, and at this point, somewhere around this, at this point I'll make this end value start value 0. So if you see, you will get this kind of falling animation.